What's up, y'all? This is Fitz here again, and for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Fitz, and I'm on a mission to build a $500,000 per month real estate wholesale business, and I'm doing my best to document that journey and share with you guys some insights that I'm using, some insights, mental models, some frameworks that I'm using to actually accomplish this goal. Now, is this video is more so about some of the changes that I've seen or that I've noticed in the wholesaling industry in 2024. And there's a few changes that I think there's probably a lot of changes, but a couple changes that I'm personally taking to heart as I grow this business. And I think you guys might want to take heed too, because if you're not paying attention to the changes, man, like this market is gonna eat you up, and we're seeing that happen every day with folks who was doing a lot of wholesaling and stuff like that. Before I even jump back in the industry, everybody was selling the hedge funds and all that stuff. That's one major change right there. So let's start it off with just that. Back in 2020 to maybe like 2022, all of these hedge funds were buying properties at 100% of market value, 90% of market value, which it just didn't make sense. We'll probably never see that happen again. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that the government printed a whole lot of money, and hedge funds are full of very smart people, so they're going to find that money, obviously, and they used it to buy real estate, and they didn't care how much they paid for it because the money was cheap. Money is no longer cheap because the interest rates have increased. Obviously, they had to do that, and those hedge funds are out of the market. So what that means for wholesalers is you actually have to be good at underwriting. You actually have to be good at underwriting. A lot of people don't talk about comping enough. Comping, underwriting, same thing. Like, how do you, or actually it's a little different, right? Comping is getting the value of a property based on aftermarket repair. After repair value or whatever, or figuring out what the price of that home is or the value of that home is in as is condition. So with that, back in a couple years ago, you didn't have to be that great, right? You didn't have to be that great, but now you actually have to understand who your buyer is and underwrite that deal. And when I say underwrite, meaning, hey, how are these people going to make money? How is this buy and hold investor going to make money? I need to understand the formulas that they're using in order to reverse engineer the return that they're looking for. The same thing with the fix and flippers. So that's one major change that I'm seeing as 2024. You have to have a very good understanding of comping and underwriting. If you don't have that, you'll end up getting contracts too high. You'll get a contract signed too high, which means your contract fallout rate is going to increase, which, if you can't sell a contract, it doesn't matter how many contracts you get. If you keep canceling contracts, that don't matter, right? Some of these larger organizations will have, 20 contracts on the board, and damn 19 of them fall out because they're not underwriting right. So that's one of the first things that I see changing in 2024. And I guess that's kind of like two, hedge funds, not very active anymore, and two, you gotta put you gotta put an emphasis on underwriting. Third thing I see going on in the market, is no longer advantageous, doesn't make sense to lie to the sellers about what you're doing with the property. Back in the day, those OG wholesalers could finesse and say, hey, we're in buyers and we're this and we're that, because the internet wasn't what it was today. Now, as soon as you put a property up on Facebook or the MLS, guess what? algorithm is designed to make sure that the people in that area see the house. So you think the homeowner is not going to see the house? So it doesn't even make sense to lie or not be truthful about what you're doing, what your exit plan is with that property. It just doesn't. So what we're seeing is the smart people. What we're seeing is the smart people. I'm okay. What we're seeing is the smart people are actually being very straightforward. Man, I got the smart people are being very straightforward and are telling or are putting their offer together in a way that makes sense for the homeowner. And what I mean by that is they're positioning their offer in a way that's showing the homeowner, hey, this is the problem that we're solving for you. This is your end result. Whether that's a traditional wholesale end result or whether it's a novation style end result. They're being very transparent, and it makes the seller respect you way more. And then it makes the process way easier. You don't have to go around tiptoeing and none of that. So that's the third thing. It's not cool to lie to sellers. Be transparent. Tell the sellers what's going on. If they want to play ball, let them play ball. It's your job to position that in a way to where they understand that you are providing value in the service that you bring. Because I'll tell you something, a lot of our leads that come in on the lead form, they specifically say or select they want to sell without a real estate agent. They want to work with you. But they want to work with competent people. So that's the third thing, and I say that's actually super important. The two, I'd say that's super important, and I won't put underwriting over transparency or anything because both of them are equally as important in today's time. The last one that I'm going to leave you with, because I don't want to make these videos super long, and I want you guys to be able to come in, grab some information, take it with you, let it digest. I feel like sometimes people get so much information they forget some of the most valuable pieces of the video or the content, and then we don't have time for all that. I'm not in no studio, as y'all can see. I'm pretty sure y'all got work and jobs, and y'all just trying to get something and pull out something to marinate on and go. So I'm gonna do my best to keep doing that. The last thing though is the amount of what's changed. When I initially started wholesaling, my first round of wholesaling back in 2013, and still to this day, you'll hear people when they say, how do I get started? Oftentimes, their first set of instructions is going to tell you to go and get a list. Go pull a list. Go pull a list of motivated sellers. Pull a county list. Go to PropStream. Pull a list. That's cool. The reality of the situation is you will spend the same amount of money on that list as you will just buying qualified leads. And it's going to save you a lot more time just buying the leads. Because when you buy that list, you got to set up the whole entire system. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's pros and cons to both. I think if you set up that system and you get some text leads in or some cold call leads, you will be forced to sharpen your teeth when it comes to being on the phone and getting comfortable on the phone talking to sellers, because those are going to be people who don't really want to talk to you. So you'll have to get used to talking to people who don't want to talk to you for real and overcoming those objections. So that's a pro to that. But if you really want to get straight to it, you don't have to do all that anymore. You can literally just go and buy leads. And in fact, it takes much less of those motivated leads that already went in and filled out their information than it does to somebody who you reached out to a cold call or text. Put it in perspective. If I text someone, I'm really expecting 75 to 100 leads before I get one contract if I'm texting. Very similar to if I'm doing cold calls. If I have inbound leads coming in from like a web form, guess what? That's 10 to 15. Big difference. So that's 10 to 15 people I got to talk to versus 75 to 100. Again, you no longer have to start with those big ass lists anymore. You just don't. And I'll leave with this. I know I said I had one more. And this is not even a change, but this is just an addition to what I just said. Stop trying to not spend money. If you don't have money, this probably not the business for you, to be completely honest. Yes, you can get deals without money, but guess what? The marketing strategies or the techniques that you use to get a deal with no money, it's going to cost you so much time and effort. You would have been better off going to go find you some money so you can just come buy some leads or buy you a setup to actually generate you some consistent leads. So all of those, gurus who telling you, hey, get deals with no money and all that, cool. Yeah, maybe that you can do it here and there, but realistically, you need $2,000 to $4,000. I don't care what nobody say. You need $2,000 to $4,000 if you really are serious about getting started in this business. If you don't have $2,000 to $4,000 to get started, you need to go find a job, or you need to go find a side hustle, or you need to go save up, ask mommy, daddy, go get a credit card, something, because you're climbing an uphill battle if you don't have money for leads. This is a sales and marketing business. How are you going to market if you don't have a marketing budget? It doesn't make sense. Stop listening to these people who trying to sell you stuff. They're going to tell you that because they don't care. They got 1,000 of y'all going to try to find leads for free, and then they want you to come back and JV with them. They get half of the deal, so they don't care if you're not consistent, because they got 1,000 of y'all looking for deals. They got 1,000 of y'all looking for deals. They don't care if you're consistent, because all they need is a few of y'all every month. So yeah, they're gonna tell you to go search the MLS, go drive for dollars, go do go cold call this list. Yeah, they're gonna tell you to pull all that work in, and maybe some of them coming from a good place, because they're like, hey, people need to figure out a way to make money from nothing using wholesale. But I'm telling you now, that's harder. That's more difficult than just going to get a job or figuring out where to go get that $2,000 to $4,000 from. Because once you get that $2,000 to $4,000, while you're getting that $2,000 to $4,000, my advice would be to learn sales. Get you a sales script. Find you somebody to practice with, so that you're comfortable on the phone, so that when you do get that $2,000 to $4,000 saved up and you go buy you 20 to 40 leads, guess what? You increase your chance of success tenfold. Now you're not wasting money. And again, these are people who raise their hands and say, hey, yeah, I want to sell. So your energy is much, much better spent going to go find the money so that you can reduce that lead generation side. Because another raw reality is, a wholesaling business has lead generation, acquisition, disposition. If you can get rid of the lead generation by just buying leads, why wouldn't you? You got to put in some more work, of course, and you got to have a budget. But that's better than having a whole third wheel of your business that now you have to manage and hire more people and train them and create more SOPs and all that stuff. Why not focus on the acquisition side, get really good at that, partner with somebody on the disposition side just long enough until you can get the bandwidth to do your own disposition. But that allows you to solely focus on the acquisition side. So find you some money, focus on acquisitions, partner on the dispo, and keep recycling back to acquisitions. That's the new recipe for 2024. That's the new recipe. It's not going to find these lists. It's not going to skip trace. It's not doing all of that stuff. Yes, that stuff works, and it's cool for people, for certain people. And I'll make a video about who that's cool for. But for most people, most of y'all already have a job. Y'all looking to train. Y'all don't have time for that. Y'all don't have time for that. Some of y'all already salesmen. Some of y'all already have the great sales skills. Some of y'all already have the budget. If you already have a budget, a strong budget, consistent, money coming in, all that list building stuff, it wastes your time. So anyway, I'm not going to talk in circles. I told y'all my thoughts on how the wholesale market has changed in 2024. Again, we need to really get tight on underwriting. We need to, I think buying leads, helps us eliminate, extra fat in our business. And I think transparency will win the day. And I think if you're not transparent, you're going to lose a lot of deals because they're going to meet somebody who is transparent and they're going to trust them more. So take that for what it's worth, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy your week. Today is Monday. Y'all go lock up some deals, man. If you got some questions, y'all know I respond to my y'all know I respond to my comments and stuff under here. But also follow me on Instagram, Financially Fits. And if you want me to talk about something specific, let me know that below here as well. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.